Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. What the hell happened to Luka Dončić? What the hell happened to Luka Dončić? Oh my goodness. And I don't know where I seen this yesterday. I was scrolling. Somebody, I don't know where I seen the photo or the image or whatever like that of Luka Dončić being, losing all this weight or whatever like that. But somebody posted that, I guess the Mavs were right about Nico Harris. Nico Harris was right about Luka Dončić. Oh my goodness. They're still I'm trying to figure out who posted that. I'm not for sure. But we all know the whole thing was a fraud, because the NBA is nothing but a Ponzi scheme when it comes down to it. The whole NBA is nothing but a Ponzi scheme, and trying to sell its image, trying to sell tickets, trying to sell its league. Period. That's all it is. And I won't even get into that, but we all know why Luka went to Dallas, and Dallas got that #1 overall pick, and the fact that Dallas was tanking down the rankings to even get where they got in the season. And then we saw the fact that, I did a video on that who was it, Kyrie Irving faked that injury when he didn't even bump knees with the opponent. Yet on the play-by-play, it said he had bumped knees with the opponent. And furthermore, this dude was, padded up so much on his legs, even if he did hit the opponent, he wouldn't be out for the damn season. But I don't know if he didn't go by the script or whatever like that, but when he was about to go in contact with the other guy's knee, he never did. He avoided the guy's leg. They made this big deal out of it. Instead of just getting him off the damn floor, they made this whole, charade and all this crazy stuff out of it. And if I ain't mistaken, didn't he shoot free throws or something? Like, this dude is supposed to be seriously injured to where he can't even walk no more, have to be out for the rest of the season. And you guys care about shooting free throws? An injured guy. And you guys are worried about an injured guy shooting free throws? We already know anybody can shoot free throws. Well, I think the opponent has to pick the guy who shoot free throws. But this wasn't like no major game to where it was like do or die. And then we all know that Anthony Davis, I think that injury was fake, even though I don't have any real evidence. But the way everything played out, it probably was fake. And like I said, it had to be fake, because, when Anthony Davis did come back to that team, he was playing like he was just like a role player. I mean, he was just like, hey, you guys do know I'm Anthony Davis, right? I mean, hey, I'm AD. They weren't even, the ball wasn't even going through him. The offense wasn't going through him. It was just like the most ridiculous thing you ever seen. But that's what they had to do to keep tanking down the standings and able to get that lottery pick like they eventually had. And they were rewarded with that for giving up Luka Dončić, who had to become the scapegoat for the Lakers, because they already know LeBron James is never going back to the NBA Finals under normal circumstances. He's never going back there. And he was lucky, to me. I think it was, he went back in 2020. But after 18, I thought, well, what I was able to calculate now, he never wanted to go back to the championship after 18. And he looks like, from what I was able to research, he didn't want to go back to the finals after 2007 until he was able to acquire his super team, because we all know he was scared to play Kobe in the finals, but he was scared to play anybody out of the West. It don't matter if it was going to be Dirk, Nash and Amari, whoever it was. Maybe it was Duncan again. Whoever was going to come out that West was going to whack his ass again. So it really didn't matter who he was going to go up against. He was waiting for that super team. And he barely did anything with that super team. Built another super team, got whacked by the West again. It's just like, so, those circumstances happened in 2020. And luckily, they happened that way. So he was able to get another championship. But, since then, he ain't really been taking that serious. Since because he don't want to go back. You don't want to go back to the championship under normal conditions, right? And like I said, say if it was somebody legit that actually made it to the NBA Finals in 2020, he would have found some way to tank in the Western Conference Finals. I mean, we got to think about some of the stuff that has went on in his career. It just seems so sketchy and so funny and so, you know what I'm saying? Just the stuff that went down. I'm talking about, whether in the finals or, getting eliminated in the playoffs. It just seems so sketchy that, like, you know what I'm saying? It seems like, he dealing with mob bosses or something on, I'm not going to say. Oh, I didn't say that, did I? Well, I don't know. I'm not going to go that far, but when gambling is involved, to me, this guy could be a puppet and just be doing whatever. Because the things that went on was so sketchy, but it could have even been that. Like I said, it could have just been like about his legacy, period. His legacy is basically counting stats. So it's not about winning championships. So it's about his opponents being better. I never even heard that before. Have you ever heard that? Oh, I'm in front of you as an all-time great player because look who I played. Hell, if that's the case, what's his name? Wilt Chamberlain is number one. Wilt Chamberlain is number one. He played in the era where the Celtics won 11 championships. So, Wilt Chamberlain is definitely the GOAT. No doubt about it. And then you could say, Jerry West has to be top 5. LJ Baylor has to be top 5. And you know what I'm saying? Oscar Robertson has to be top 5. So we're talking about the competition, because the competition was my competition was better than yours, and that's why I didn't win championship. Then all those guys are in the top 5. So I guess it's Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, Oscar Robertson, LJ Baylor. All those guys are in the top 5. Isn't that like, I think that's like Dr. J's top 5. I mean, yeah, ain't that his top 5? It's crazy. And everybody's got their own opinion. He might be right. We don't know. But, that is the all-time greatest top 5. If we go by LeBron's logic, that he's number 1 or number 2 because the opponents he had to play. Oh, my goodness. Well, it's just not about the opponents you had to play. It's about the way you played in the game, too. In all of your losses, series losses, you never went to a game 7. You never went to a game 7. And I think, what was it? 2 of them he went to a game 7. I think 14 in the wins. He got smoked off the court like, what was it? He got swept like three times or something like that in the finals. A few gentlemen sweeps. Nevertheless, so the whole Luka thing, I'm going to say this, man. They're trying to be funny. They're trying to be funny. Because how is now you want Luka to be skinny. So how is Luka going to use his weight as an advantage over the defenders? Right? Because he used to use his weight just to like come down the lane and be able to do what he wanted to do. Now you don't have that weight. I'm trying to tell you guys, you keep not believing me. And I said this in a sense when we're talking about Bronny. And we can see it's already been happening. The league is going to get weaker every year. And no doubt, it really has. And it all plays into the hands of Bronny James. It basically played in the hands of LeBron James to keep him playing longer. Not be greater. Because if you was greater, you would be winning championships. You would be going to NBA Finals in your longevity. Right? You wouldn't be getting swept by a plumber with no help, and then gentleman sweep by the same plumber with no help, while you have top 75 teammate help, all-star teammate help, all NBA help, all NBA defensive help. So it didn't help LeBron James to be greater. It just helped him to play longer. Now for his son, it's going to help his son be able to play in the league. And you guys got to remember, his son there's nothing coming out of this dude that's expected, because he's coming from the bottom. He's bottom tier. So when he starts putting up some points, some rebounds, some assists, it's going to be the most amazing thing that's ever been written down or seen on this earth. Because the fact that he is Bronny James, period, has been the most incredible thing we've ever seen in the NBA. It's been the most incredible thing we've ever seen in the NBA, folks. For some reason. Now this guy is doing I think he did a between the leg dunk or something like that in a, what was this? This was a pregame in the layup lines or whatever like that. He did a between the leg dunk, kind of like a what was it, Kobe did that, a couple guys did that, Vince Carter, although he didn't get up as high as these guys, but it was very impressive, because no way his father could do anything like that. So it was very impressive. And Bronny is going to be a star in this league. It don't matter what anybody thinks. This is how the system works. Bronny, they would not have drafted this guy if they don't have a clown position for this guy. Okay? And like I said, it's not the fact that he's actually going to be that good in the future. It's the fact that the league is going to get weaker. Weaker, folks. Imagine that. And, they was throwing out some scenarios. Just who's going to win the championship next year? Well, if LeBron James is on the Lakers, then they're not going to win the championship. Okay? Because he's got to get his stats. Now, they could if he took a back seat. But I don't know if he's going to be able to take that back seat. Could you imagine somebody in the year 22, what's he going to 23 maybe? You're still worried about stats? You're still, hey, most people have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar top 5. Most have him at top 3. And he won championships when he wasn't even the finals MVP, folks. And that didn't hurt his legacy. Okay? It didn't hurt his legacy. So I just really don't know, what this guy is doing. He's really, I don't know. Is he scared that, if he gets back to the NBA finals under, normal conditions on this earth, where it's not a COVID or some kind of, pandemic situation, that he's going to lose again? I'm not for sure. At this point, who cares, bro? You're 4-6, but like I said, what is it that you won't take a back seat? You have $1 billion. You're 4-6. You're getting exposed by the day. Actually winning another ring would enhance your legacy. I mean, would it put you in the top 5 or nothing like that? With most people who have a brain, but I don't know. I would want to be like, yeah, this is cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get one for my son. I'm going to go out, let Luka do what he does. Let Reeves be the second guy. Let Rui be the third guy. And I'm going to just play dog defense. I'm going to get all these rebounds. I'm going to do whatever I can at a high IQ basketball level that he's supposed to have, right? And get this ring with my son. But the sad part is, all this guy cares about is stats. And this, again, will tell you that these guys really don't make this kind of money, folks. And I forget this guy was on AOH in Sports and Fitness Rants. I forget this guy's name, but he was breaking down pretty much his super team aspect of the league, and only the super team guys are making any money, and then the other guys get shedded off after 3 or 4 years, and they're not. And then after that super team is over, they got to do the process over again. And I think he said only like 4 teams never participated in the whole what was it, like 4 years and then rebuild, 4 years and rebuild, like the whole, not just LeBron James, but a lot of these other guys who kind of do this super team thing. And to me, I don't know if I'm exactly saying it right, and I'm not, but to me, it ties in. Yeah, he needs to make a video. It was mind blowing. I can't even break it down. It was just like so. It was so much details. Even sports and fitness rants was blown away. AOH was blown away. But to me, if you want to go see it, it's on their last. It was on the Sunday panel, and I think it was maybe like the last 30 minutes of the show. If you want to check it out, but to me, it just plays into the hands to where they saw the NBA going down the drain as far as ratings. Okay, so they had to find a way to make money. Of course, they're going to tell you these guys make all this money for, entertainment purposes, for purposes of keeping the league at a certain value. You know what I'm saying? Keeping the league at a certain value. So they're going to tell you these guys make this kind of money. But it's just, I was just laughing every time I see another one of these guys on a podcast trying to make some money. It's like, this is what you do with your off time. Forget it. Could you imagine having these millions of dollars that these guys made? Tens of millions a year. Hundreds of millions in a contract. And you're not with your wife. You're not with your kids. You're not handling your business off court. As far as you have all kind of family, not just your immediate family. You have all kind of stuff you can deal with as far as, getting this done. When you have that kind of money, it's a lot of stuff that you could be doing. Other than that, what about being on vacation in the off season and being with your family, just being away from stuff, and then, trying to work on your game and stuff like that when you're not on vacation, these type of things. Could you imagine just sitting down in a damn podcast talking ish about past NBA players and these NBA players today? It's just like, these dudes are like women. Are you rich men who are doing rich men business moves, or are you podcasting? You see Shaq sitting up there, dude, you're at damn TNT and all this shit all the time, and now you're podcasting? Like, tell me this has to be AI. These guys cannot be, they got to be AI deepfake podcasts. They cannot be real, folks. And I don't know, Shaq, sometimes he can't even explain what the hell he's talking about, and he'll just talk about a whole bunch of stuff, and he'll be debating against somebody, and just goes, oh, I'm Shaq, I'm right. Like, you can't even explain what the hell you're talking about or want to be right about. You just, dude, go sit the hell down somewhere and enjoy the rest of your life. And now Tracy McGrady is popping up everywhere. These guys are broke, man. God bless their heart, man. Could you imagine that somebody, people were telling the public that you made hundreds of millions and now you're broke and you need to say stupid stuff to make money now? Yeah. And I don't even say that they're broke. They just never made that kind of money. They ain't broke. But, and again, yes. Do I think they had billions? Yes, I believe that. Of course. But not that kind of money that we were told. Even with the taxes and all that stuff, and the manager and the lawyer and all that stuff, no, they still didn't make that kind. No, folks. Yes, I believe they made millions, of course. Yes, of course. But let's just say they did make millions. Nothing close to what the contract says. It's all nonsense. Look at Vince Carter, play for 23 years and running for a position as soon as he can somewhere. Come on, man. Where's all your money, man? You trying to tell me you play for 23 years in the league and that's what you want to be around when you retire? You still want to do this? You still want to be around some sweaty ass men? No. But he's trying to find a job, folks. You don't have that kind of money. But anyways, like I said, even if they made millions, the millions that I'm saying, not the millions you were told, they still have to pay for a lifestyle, folks. They still have to pay for a certain lifestyle, or continue to pay for a certain lifestyle. So they got to keep the money coming in. It's not like, you know what I'm saying, they made all the money that we were told. No, they didn't. So now they have to keep some money rolling in. Have to keep some money rolling in. Let me explain that again. Yes, they made millions, but not the millions we were told. So a lot of them because they were really good players, or they could talk real good, retire and end up working on TV to keep bringing in money. Because obviously, not only did they not make the money we were told, but they got to keep money coming in, so that money that they did make, they don't spend it. That's just how it goes, folks. It's not like, in this world, you're not working with people that deal with common sense. You're not dealing with people who are able to think on their own. When you're young, they cut that out real fast. When you go to school, you're unable to think on your own. A teacher is unable to think on her own for the most part, because she's reading off a script. The Board of Education, the Board of Science, the Board of Health, the Board of this, these are people who read off a script. And I'm not trying to be mean, I'm not trying to hate or nothing like that. We all do in a certain walk of life to be able to make money. But I'm just trying to tell you, a lot of people are unable to think on their own because, even with religion and politics, because it hurts our feelings if we think on our own. As far as, us knowing the truth of the matter. Because somebody has written something and we say, well, that's right, because it's been repeated over and over and over again. And if we're able to outthink that, well, if anybody's able to outthink that, the other people, oh man, that's wrong. Because they didn't want to outthink it. Because a lot of people in this world, they get mad, they get frustrated, they get full of anger to know they've been lied to. Nevertheless, like I said, you just, it ain't something that you come up with, these players don't make this kind of money because this. No, it's about the way they go about everything. It's about how the NBA is going about everything. It's ratings, everything. But like I said, that guy that was on the panel, I said that just plays in on a Sunday panel with Sports and Fitness Friends and AOH. I say that just really plays into what I've been saying the whole time, that the NBA really saw, especially after Michael Jordan, and now he's coming back again. Now he's coming back again. He came back the first time, well, when he came back to Washington. He came back to Washington to help the NBA out on ratings, maybe merch sale, stuff like that. But the dumb story that they try to give people, like, it's okay to think, man. They said Michael Jordan came back for ownership of a team. He signed no contract, had no recording of a verbal contract, played 2 years. After he got done, the Wizards, the owner of the Wizards says, psych, I was just joking. You ain't getting ownership of this team. What? Hey, an 8-year-old kid would never let themselves get duped out of something like that easily and that awful. You think Michael Jordan is going to jump on the damn court without signing a contract? To be part owner of that team? I don't think so. But that's what they tell the dummies, just for entertainment. Michael Jordan ended up owning the team in his damn state, because that's what the NBA gave him. Now, Jordan is coming back again, I think in AI capacity, to help out the NBA again. It's horrible. TNT couldn't even afford the NBA no more. And they try to tell you this, TNT couldn't pay these billions. Of course they wouldn't, because they're not making no money. Nobody watches this trash. So now NBC, TNT, and ESPN and ABC, which is the same thing as ESPN. So 3 networks have to split the cost in buying the NBA for the year. Because nobody watches it. It's getting worse. And, you kind of scratch your head. Why is, people like, Kenny and Chuck still doing the NBA? You can even say Shaq. It just looks ridiculous because the style of play is so far off from when these guys played. It don't even make sense to have these guys on here no more. Because they're not really allowed to critique basketball like they should. Damn, at least get some guys that played in the, I know Shaq played in the 2000s, whatever. I guess you could have Shaq up here, but Shaq didn't play nothing even close to this, folks. He didn't even play 210 style of basketball. I guess you could say it really changed in about 2015. That's when it really changed, when Curry came. Curry didn't come in 2015. When Curry's era, as far as his reign started, it was just like, you could say the Curry-Clay, right? Because if Clay wasn't there, it was just, Curry just be shooting some threes. That's it. The game would never change. Never. Never. Because when Curry had the ball, he could throw it to Clay. And then when Clay had the ball, he could throw it to Curry. It was just like having 2 of the same guys almost. It was. Well, offensively it was. Like having the same damn guy. Two Shaqs or 2 Jordans or, 2 LeBrons or whatever. I'm not trying to say LeBron got the best offensive game, but I'm just saying just 2 of the same guys, period. That's what it would be like. That's tough. That's tough. I don't think we ever seen nothing like that ever. I don't remember that. I'm trying to remember. I just don't remember 2 guys that played that similar ever. Maybe, maybe Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen on defense, maybe something like that. Definitely not on offense. I don't know. But the NBA, man, they've been going down the drain for a long time. As far as ratings, for some reason, they seem to do good as far as filling seats. They have no problem with that. It's kind of like hockey, right? Hockey has no problem filling seats, but the overall ratings aren't there like they used to. Yes, baseball to an extent puts butts in seats so they make money. And to me, I think, that too speaks to the demographic. The demographic in the United States has changed big time. A lot of these American kids don't watch sports like that no more. And they've been, and why should they? They're not, what are you going to get up to college level and never go to the NBA? Because most of these, well, sports period, most of these sports leagues are full of international players. And, a lot of them are, even if they're American, they're like, their parents are immigrants. So for some reason, that's a big thing too. Now that their parents are immigrants, they're first generational Americans. So a lot of people just stop watching sports in the United States. It's not everybody who used to watch sports that's older, like maybe, 35 and older. They already know sports is not even close to what it used to be in the United States. So I'm gonna get off of here. Nobody can. Luka, he done lost all this weight for what? In this weak, soft era, he has never been known for playing defense. He went to an NBA Finals without LeBron James. Now he plays with LeBron James and doesn't go to the NBA Finals. And he's told to lose weight, even though him being the size he is has always been to an advantage. Now they're telling him to play with LeBron James, you have to lose weight and lift weights. How dumb is this? Doesn't make any sense. Somebody's always got to change because LeBron James' failures don't get him nowhere. Don't get the team nowhere. And now he's out here looking like, I don't know, if that's a real photo of him working out, that's a damn shame. Did they replace Luka or what? I think they replaced him. I don't know what's going on here. Oh goodness, folks. Well, look what they did to Kevin Durant, man. Look what they did to Kevin Durant. Wow. You seen Kevin Durant, right? Look at Kevin Durant. This guy, he got smaller as he got older. And the thing with Kevin Durant is, the big knock on Kevin Durant coming into the league, what was it, folks? It was that he was too skinny. Now, when you look at the picture, over the years of Kevin Durant, look at how much weight he lost in the face. From Texas all the way down in Phoenix. And I know he's going to Houston, but check that out, folks. He has lost so much weight to where now he looks sick. And he's skinnier than Texas. And I know we don't have the full body photo image, but go check it out. Go look at, punch up Texas, punch up OKC, punch up, all these, what was it? When he played with the Warriors, until now, the guy don't even look like the same guy to me, folks. The only reason why you can call this guy Kevin Durant is because they're saying this is Kevin Durant. He looks nothing the same to me. Even from, when he was with the Warriors until now. This don't even look like the same guy, folks. And, okay, if you're fat, if you're like way overweight and you lose weight, yes, you can lose weight when you get older. But this guy was never overweight. He's always been undersized. So how the body works, you don't lose weight as you get older. That's just how the body works. You see LeBron James losing weight. You see any dude losing weight. Michael Jordan didn't lose weight as he got older. Scottie Pippen, he didn't lose weight as he got older. Karl Malone didn't lose weight. John Stockton didn't lose weight. Wilt Chamberlain didn't lose weight. The body don't work like that unless you're overweight. Yes. But again, this guy, the knock on this guy was he was undersized coming into the league. So how is he skinnier today than he was at Texas? Not OKC, which he is. Not Golden State. He's skinnier now than he was at Texas. And he's skinnier now than he has ever been. Than Texas, OKC, Golden State, Brooklyn. He's skinnier today, folks. Somebody explain that to me. He's skinnier in the legs, the arms, the face, everything. He looks burnt the hell out, like he was smoking crack in a crack house. This does not look like anybody healthy. And that's why he can't put up, rebounds and blocks and steals. And, he always turning the ball over at a high rate. This looks like nothing. Even go back, if you don't believe me, go look at old interviews, folks. Look at old interviews of Kevin Durant in OKC, Golden State, Texas, and then look at the interviews of him today. It don't even look like the same guy, folks. And that's what I'm saying. What happened to this guy? And now they're trying to change Luka for what? Now they're trying to make Luka sick? Let me get off of here, man.